Grand Rising to the collective, man. Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified. Make sure your post notifications are on so you never miss an upload. This is for entertainment and educational purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, it helps the collective get bigger, man. It helps us grow, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Let's get right into the video, man. Let's go.
It was believed that if a person stared at the lake surface for too long, they would be unable to look away, and that the lake had the power to mesmerize and lure people to their deaths. There are also a large amount of unexplainable deaths and disappearances surrounding Crater Lake. In 1975, a photographer went missing. His body was found a year later, but weirdly enough, only his shins and shoes were found. There's also many strange cases of aircraft disappearances over the lake, as well as UFO sightings and Bigfoot sightings.
We are about to witness one of the greatest rituals in 2024 so far, and it's dealing with Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl plus the new moon. Before I get deeper into this magic of these witches and these warlocks that we are dealing with every day, I want to put these numbers in place, because the people that control this world or control these certain events, they use numbers. So February 9th is the new moon. February 11th is the Super Bowl, and it's Super Bowl 58. So when you take 9, 11, 5, and 8 and add all these numbers together, you get number 33. 33 is the number of when Jesus is so-called unalive. But it's not just that. 33 activates our Kundalini. It's a mirror reality. 3 and 3 always mirrors itself. It activates our Kundalini. Now, when it comes to these witches and these warlocks, when Queen Elizabeth, so-called unalive, and they broke her magic wand, remember, Queen Elizabeth always carried a wand, a magic wand, because she put a curse or a spell on the rest of the population. Remember, you have the green bloods against the blue bloods. They are the blue bloods that put a curse on humanity or man, or whatever name you want to give us. It is a curse or a spell on us. But when she passed away and that magic wand was snapped, the curse was snapped. But they understand something about magic. They are body snatchers. Just before her body gave away, she jumped out of that body and went into another body. Taylor Swift is one of the biggest witches on this planet. Beyonce is a witch. Oprah is a witch. Tell us all these people that we see in Hollywood, they deal with black, demonic, dark magic all the time. And we are dealing with a ritual right now. Remember, we are going into the golden age, meaning we are about to get our enlightenment, or we are about to get our abundance back to us. But if you don't want your energy, they're going to take it once again. Why do you think these people have all this energy? Where do you think they're getting this energy from? They are getting the energy from the energy that we have, but we don't want it. So that's what's going on right now. We are going into a dark ritual. Taylor Swift is actually a witch. All of them are witches and warlocks. Take your power back. If not, they're going to use it against you. A big ass ritual, 2024.
Hey, when he talk about that wand, I'm gonna keep it all the way above. I was distracted by the glove on her hand. Her shape-shifting ass. And when he said she left one body to another, I figured that was coming. I said that shit before, and everybody I was around was like, bro, shut up, bro. You know you're listening to our stuff. You always want to get to saying stuff when you should be talking. And I remember thinking that. I did think that, but I was distracted about the wand. I didn't know she carried it with her. We saw it in a previous video and then breaking it during her funeral. But I didn't think that she carried it with her though, because I never seen her, and if I did, that means I was distracted because I was looking at something totally different. And most of the time when she come on camera or anything, I'm looking at her face, I'm seeing if she's shape-shifting, and I'm looking at them hands. She keep the glove on. And like I was always so stuck on that. And then the kids that went missing, like I think it was 13 of them. I think it was 13 of them. I could be wrong with the number, but there was some kids that went missing in Canada. I think it was orphans or something. And she ended up getting them, and they went to the Buckingham Palace, and the kids ain't never been seen again. A lot of people in the comments, y'all said y'all know that story too. So, but my thing is, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I never really looked at the wand, and I'm feeling stupid right now because I was distracted by the wand. Make a lot of sense though. But I did say she probably did jump into somebody else. She's still living somewhere.
If you're chosen, you've probably been fighting spiritual warfare all your life, and you probably won't even know it. You know, but that's what it means to be chosen. You're a warrior. God chose you, you know. But reason why it's so hard for us, reason why your life is so hard is because you have not yet awakening to your true self. You got to know who you really are. Without you knowing that, then you're going to keep, you know, your life is going to keep falling apart, or things are going to keep never going to go your way, things like that, you know. So why is your life so hard? Why it never like 1, 2, 3? There are other people that they don't even take 3 steps. They take 1 step and everything happened perfectly for them. But for you, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus, you have a lot of blockages in your life because you're dealing with these spirits. You know, but there are mainly 3 spirits that manifest in everyone, in everybody's life, mainly the chosen one. You know, the first spirit, I'll say it's Lilith. Oh, you know, that spirit is responsible for sexuality. You know, if you're a person that always have a very high sexual drive, you know, like you want to have 24 hours, or you like to watch porn, or anything related to sex, you know. Of course, you can say it's your testosterone. You know, if you have high testosterone, that can also do that. But it's not about that. You know, you probably, because that spirit also comes in your dreams. This is mainly where it manifests, in your dreams. You know, and it gives you a dream desire. Whatever you desire sexually, you're going to do it in your dream. You know, and this is when you know you're dealing with that spirit, Lilith. You know, and how to get rid of that spirit, you have to go in semen retention. You have to hold your seed for a long period of time, probably 1 to 3 months. This is where the spiritual warfare is. This is why we keep getting attacked, because we're not doing the work. We gotta do the work. So once you've done that thing, then you'll have 100% control of your sex life and stuff like that. Then you will know. You will know, you know, because you're not your partner, you're feeling. The other time you feel like this is of the body, not of the mind, not of your feeling. You should not be feeling, not thinking about this. That is not you, you know. This is how the spirit gets to you. It gets to your mind and your feeling. And then mostly when that happens, you have very little control over it. And then you cannot stop until, you know, you do what you got to do, you know. Mainly sometimes you have to, you know, watch porn. You know what I mean. So then after that spirit, you have another spirit called Leviathan spirit, which is mainly known for pride. If you're a very prideful person, if you've been prideful, if you have pride all your entire life, what does it mean to have pride? For example, if you're going through a lot of like stuff in your life, and you don't want to ask for help, you just think you can do it alone and all this thing, you are possessed by that spirit, you know. But that spirit it's not that hard to understand, to be aware of it, because it's pride. You know when you're prideful. But I don't really say you really know, because you have to be aware that you have pride. And you cannot walk with God with pride. It's because of that spirit. So you gotta get rid of that spirit. Prayer is a good tool, great tools to get rid of that spirit. You have another spirit called the octopus spirit. Not really biblical. Octopus, it has multiple legs, so it's a very, very, very powerful spirit. Lives in the water, just like Leviathan. They both come from the water. You know, if you're possessed by the octopus, it's one of the most dangerous spirits, because you won't really know unless God make it known to you. You won't really know, because it controls your mind and and all the stuff around you. You know, you'll be thinking it's you, then it's not, because you are possessed by that spirit. It's so powerful that it controls your whole entire family. It can control if you have a wife or kids, it manifested in all of them. This is that spirit, the octopus spirit. And it's one of the hardest spirit to get rid of, because it requires a lot of work to get rid of that spirit. you have to fast. You have to fast for at least 3 days. And afterwards, you have to, pray. Of course, prayer is number one, because you cannot fast without praying. And then 2, fasting. And then the third thing you got to do is change your diet. You probably have to be more like in a vegan or vegetable diet or vegetarian or whatever. So the active spirit manifesting how the active spirit manifesting in your life is mainly, it will keep you in a loop. You'll be doing the same thing with the thought of you getting somewhere, and you won't get nowhere. So you keep going in this path, and then you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, and you still have this mindset that you're getting somewhere, but you never get anywhere. You might be doing this for months, years, weeks. This is when you're possessed by the spirit. How you get rid of the spirit is, like I said, you gotta go on a fast, because it's a very dangerous spirit. That spirit don't play around. It's there to destroy your life. Most of the time, you won't know it until your life fall apart. Because after your life fall apart, then you're going to go to God, and this is when you're going to be aware of all that crazy stuff that's been happening in your life. But God allow these things to happen to you. The reason why we fight spiritual warfare is to strengthen us and strengthen our faith, and also to get closer to God. Because once you're in that warfare, you cannot fight alone. You need God, and God will supply you with angels and stuff like that. So if you're encountering these demons, you got to create a prayer life. Your life has to be all about prayer. You wake up, pray. Driving, pray. You at work, pray. Otherwise, you won't gain the self-awareness, or your relationship with God won't be that strong. If you want to have a very strong relationship with God, you got to keep communicating with God, and this is how you build a relationship with God. And then if God always present in your life, this is how you get rid of them. Because where God dwells, demon cannot be present.
To my fellas out there, when he first was talking, I know some of y'all got that issue. I think a lot of men, we all go through that at least once in our life. I'm just saying, I think semen retention can do wonders for y'all. That's just some advice. It's there if somebody want it. If you don't want it, fair enough. Do your own thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think the second demon he was talking about, I ain't really had to experience that one that I know of. Maybe I have, but it probably I'm not really too for sure with that one. First one, I'm for sure. Well, I'm hella for sure. That last one, woo, man, his ass was coming to take my shit down. Like, yeah, I remember that one. But what's funny is he said a lot of people don't realize it until it's already too late. For me, I didn't realize it was maybe a demon or anything. I kind of, my uncle always told me you don't have to ask anybody for answers. You don't have to ask. He always tell me it's always, the answer. You going to other people for validation because your ass don't want to make that choice. Or you scared to make that choice and you want some type of confirmation from other people, or you want to hear other people's input to make your decision. And he always be like, man, don't do stuff like that. Stand firm on what you believe and follow what your gut tell you. Follow that gut. It's never going to lie to you. And he starts to be like, but the answer is inside of you, so you don't really got to go ask nobody nothing. And he like, when you do have questions, the answer going to come. Listen to nature. God talk to you. He talked directly to you. He talked through animals. He talked through numbers. And he broke all that down. So he was like, when you're looking for your answers, man, just sit back, relax, and your answers will come. And you'll start to do what you're supposed to do. But make sure you're doing your shadow work, is what some people would call it. But he don't call it shadow work. He just be like, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And he raised me to the point where he don't have to tell me nothing. I kind of already understand. And so it was like, okay. And I just started naturally doing what some of you guys would call shadow work. For me, I don't really call it nothing. It's just doing work. It's not even work. You're just doing your life mission. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you were sent here to do. And I just started listening to my gut. I started listening to my gut. Everything I was raised on. Listening to God, listening to nature, listening to the numbers, paying attention to the numbers, what the numbers are saying to me, because they do have meaning. And that's when I was like, okay. And then it led me down this path. And I'm like, and life actually been cool. I ain't been stressed out. I ain't been like on some angry shit, nothing like that. So, dude on point, but I did fast. It wasn't for 3 days. it was like intermittent fasting. So yeah, I don't know if that helped anybody, but I can kind of say the first one and the third one I can relate to. Not really the second, but I spam it up in the comments what y'all relate to.
1,000 people visiting annually. Crater Lake is truly one of the most remarkable and awe-inspiring places you could ever visit. But few know of the mysterious deaths that have happened here. A few years ago, we posted this article. While the article went viral, we certainly were not the first blog or book to cover the subject. To this day, many of these mysterious deaths seem to defy any plausible explanation as to what actually occurred at Crater Lake. You may also find it interesting that the Klamath people, who are Native Americans indigenous to the area, believe that Crater Lake is sacred. It is commonly believed that the Klamath avoided Crater Lake. In 1974, a young man by the name of Charles McCullough, who was 19 at the time, left his home state of Virginia for an extended vacation. In late January of 1975, McCullough was staying with some friends in Eugene, Oregon. When he hitchhiked to Crater Lake to take some photos, he never returned. The FBI had gotten involved immediately, and it wasn't until a year later they found his body a full 12 miles from the trail. Crater Lake.
This is my second time recording this. You know, when I do things twice, it'd be a message that had to get out, and I pressed delete by mistake. What a fool. Around this time, you have people. Well, first, I want to say this. You have a feminine ancestor that is watching over you and protecting you. This is could be a godmother. This could be a grandmother. This could be your mother. This can be an aunt. Anyone who has passed on, who you had a very tight relationship with, they're watching over you. And confirmation you will get is you will see their name twice. You will either see their nickname or their given name. The spelling does not matter. It's the message that matters, the confirmation that matters. The spelling does not matter. Like if I, got a message and they said, "Oh, Yamika's watching over you," and I saw a comment with my name spelled incorrectly, I would take that as confirmation. I would not, if my name wasn't Yamik, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't take, take it how it resonates. The name might be spelled different, but like, what's the odds of you thinking about your, aunt, grandmother, or whoever, and that name pops up twice, spelled two different ways? That's your confirmation. Also, you're going to have a lot of people around this time, and this is why this ancestor is really by you and protecting you and walking behind you, is what I just heard, is because around this time, they might have rocked in a rocking chair. I don't know why I'm going like the old man. Around this time, a lot of people from your past, particularly family members, mostly family members, are going to try to come back with congratulatory comments. And, when I start stuttering, it's a message. I'm trying to remember everything I said in the first message. And they're going to try to trigger you by even approaching you, because they know what they did, and they know that, how dare you approach somebody, how awful you talk about somebody, how dare you even act like everything's okay when you know what you did to this person, how dare you fix your bow-legged legs to come walk over to somebody and say, "Hey, how are you?" No. So your ancestors are grooming you how to handle these situations, and they're guiding you on what to entertain and what to not entertain when it regards to these people. Because some people you're not going to be able to avoid. It might be in a public setting. It might be at a party. It might be out at a store. You might run into somebody. And all eyes are on you. So you have to remain not humble, but what, collective? Grounded. Not humble, but what, collective? Poise. And these people that are approaching you, they don't have the ability to be poised. They don't have the ability to be grounded. So they will try to, I just heard this too, this message, the way you speak even annoys them. I'm not talking about the tone of your voice, or maybe that might be it too, or it's more so your vernacular. Because you might not have went to a college, you might not have had further education, but you can go toe-to-toe with somebody who went to Ivy League. You can go toe-to-toe with somebody, confirmation, who went to HBCU. You can go toe-to-toe with somebody who seemingly thinks they know it all until they met you. And not saying that you think you know it all, but you know a lot about a lot. And they're going to be intimidated by your knowledge of different topics. They're going to be intimidated by your gift of gab, your ability to deliver a message and do it in your own unique way, that people gravitate towards you. People see something special in you, which is why you have such a strong energy of people watching you. If you're a content creator, you have a very strong engagement. And like I said, it's not about the following. It's not about how good your content is or what best camera you got. It's about the engagement. It's about those comments. It's about you engaging with the people who show you love. And people don't like the fact that you show people love no matter, you know, all the crap that you've been through at the hands of people that you thought were supposed to be there for you and love you. You still have not given up hope. You don't make excuses for people's piss poor behavior, as my grandmother would say. You have some piss poor behavior. You're not accepting that anymore. Piss poor behavior is for unhealed people. And if a healed person has, you know, a hiccup, they know how to dust that shit off and get back on the bike and try again. They're not letting other people's behaviors affect how you treat people. So just be aware that you have this feminine energy protecting you around this time. And she's guiding you through these final steps before your abundance comes in. They really want you to buckle down and get it together, whatever that means to you. Don't rely on words, rely on action. That's what I just heard. So I'll end it right there.
Hey, real quick, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. I haven't been through that topic with, you know, about the Ancestor. I think I went through a tarot reading with someone, and things like that, and they kind of gave me confirmation that my great grandmother is around me. She passed away, but I haven't seen the name twice or nothing like that, so I can't relate to that one. But the ending of that, when he talks about like content creators and engagement, and sometimes it ain't about the content, and some of y'all tell me y'all like my vibe, y'all like how I'm down to earth. One thing I'm always trying to stay firm on, never lose myself. And what I mean by that is not just don't sell out. That's one of the things I mean. But I also mean, I notice it's a lot of people in the world who make it to a certain level and then they start looking down on everybody. And I was raised just as fast as it go up, it's just as fast as it can come down. So yeah, you winning today don't mean you winning tomorrow. People support you today don't mean they gonna support you tomorrow. So I always try to just keep a level head and try to let everybody know I'm not superior. I don't know more than anybody else. I know some things more than one individual. Some individuals know more than me. Ain't no big deal. But I'll never try to like act superior or act like I'm better than anybody. I try to keep it basic and try to just project that I'm an average person like everybody else. I'm equal like everybody else. I have a talent, someone else has a better talent than something else. Everybody got their talents. And that's what I try to look at. Like, I might be good at something. Somebody watching this right now might be better at something else. That's cool. I ain't tripping. Hey, that's how I look at it. I'm just like everybody else, man. I didn't have day jobs. I didn't went to college. I didn't play ball. I didn't play sports. I didn't been in the same situations as some other people watching this. And yeah, I'm an average person. I kick it with the family. You might catch me at Walmart. I ran into one of y'all subscribers, man. I ran into a few subscribers in person. Like, yeah, in the laundromat. Like, yeah, I'm an average person. So that's why when he said it, I'm like, I just want to go ahead and let y'all know I'm always trying to stay level-headed, stay balanced, stay accessible. So if y'all reach out, I try to reach back out. Y'all follow, I try to hit y'all with a follow back. I don't never try to make it seem like I'm bigger than anybody or nothing like that. Yeah, like I'm just an average person. So I appreciate y'all. Man, I'm just letting y'all know that's my mission. I'm always trying to stay firm on who I was when I first started to who I was even when I transitioned into something else or whatever the case is. Like, don't ever confuse that. Maybe I feel like, because I know a lot of people get to certain levels and they change. And I ain't trying to be like that. And I won't be like that. So just give y'all a heads up, man. But I just want to add on to what he said. But I appreciate y'all to collect it. For real. Shout out to y'all again.
More rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. Livin. In this day and age when people go, no, I'm not religious, I'm only spiritual. Yes, I am religious. There's a lot of great truths that come out of the Bible. Moments where I was on stage receiving an award in front of my peers, and there were people in the crowd that I have prayed with many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that, well, it's a bad thing on my resume, and then sit back on their hands.
If you're going to stand firm on your faith, type in the comments, amen, and click follow and subscribe for more content like this.
Crater Lake has a spooky history that stretches to long before it was a national park. It includes everything from dragon-like monsters to UFO sightings to missing persons cases to ghosts, and last but not least, a floating log that potentially controls the weather. The Klamath and other area tribes believe that Crater Lake and the mountain that preceded it is the doorway to the below world. This makes sense considering they were witnesses to the largest explosive eruption in the Cascades in the past 1 million years. They believe that the lake is sacred and even that looking upon it may lead to death. Wizard Island is the center of many stories. Rangers tell tales of seeing campfires or smoke on the island long after the last tour boat has left, only to find that nothing is there when they arrive later to check it out. I was actually told some of these stories when I was doing field work there. Another ghostly fire was spotted outside the rim by a ranger on patrol. Ranger Kerwin claimed she saw a large fire surrounded by at least 10 people far from any designated campground. As soon as she approached to tell them off, the fire and all of the people had disappeared. Supposedly, it was on the site of an old Park Service campground called Cold Spring. The old man of the lake even gets in on the action. It's claimed he controls the weather. When a submarine crew was working in the lake in the late 1980s to survey the bottom, they tried tying him up so he wouldn't get in their way. Legend says that severe storms blew in that day, stirring up the water and preventing them from working. They stopped as soon as he was set free. Guess he just didn't want to be tied down.
So do you see the supernatural at work as you look out across what's happening in the world now? Do you see God at work? Do you ever think to yourself, these are forces that are not human?
Да нет, я, честно говоря, так не думаю. Я думаю о том, что...
No, to be honest, I don't think so.
развивается вот по своим внутренним...
My opinion is that the development of the world community is in accordance with the inherent laws, and those laws are what they are.
Так было всегда в истории человечества.
It's always been this way in the history of mankind. Some nations and countries rose, became stronger and more numerous, and then left the international stage, losing the status they had accustomed to. There's probably no need for me to give examples, but we could start with the Genghis Khan and horde conquerors, the Golden Horde, and then end with the Roman Empire. It seems that there has never been anything like the Roman Empire in the history of mankind. Nevertheless, the potential of the barbarians gradually grew, as did their population. In general, the barbarians were getting stronger and begun to develop economically, as we would say today. This eventually led to the collapse of the Roman Empire and the regime imposed by the Romans. However, it took 5 centuries for the Roman Empire to fall apart. The difference with what is happening now is that all the processes of change are happening at a much faster pace than in Roman times.
So when does the AI empire start, do you think?
You're asking increasingly more complicated questions. To answer them, you need to be an expert in big numbers, big data, and AI. Mankind is currently facing many threats. Due to the genetic researches, it is now possible to create a superhuman, a specialized human being, a genetically engineered athlete, scientist, military man. There are reports that Elon Musk had already had a chip implanted in the human brain in the USA.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think there's no stopping Elon Musk. He will do as he sees fit. Nevertheless, you need to find some common ground with him, search for ways to persuade him. I think he's a smart person, I truly believe he is. So you need to reach an agreement with him because this process needs to be formalized and subjected to certain rules. Humanity has to consider what is going to happen due to the newest development in genetics or in AI. One can make an approximate prediction of what will happen. Once mankind felt an existential threat coming from nuclear weapons, all nuclear nations began to come to terms with one another since they realized the negligent use of nuclear weaponry could drive humanity to extinction. It is impossible to stop research in genetics or AI today, just as it was impossible to stop the use of gunpowder back in the day. But as soon as we realize that the threat comes from unbridled and uncontrolled development of AI, or genetics, or any other field, the time will come to reach an international agreement on how to regulate these things.
To anybody who speaks that language, please let me know if he really just say yeah he was saying that. Like let me know in the comments that he was really saying what the translator was saying he said. Let me know, because that's an interesting ass interview right there. That went interesting. Like, yeah, I'm forgetting that I'm even recording a video with y'all right now. Like, I'm over here really looking at that one like, wait a minute, what? So then this man going crazy, bro. This man going crazy. And how y'all feel about Crater Lake? Conditions get crazy. The weather start going wild, severe weather issues. As soon as they tie the log, what? But they said the natives didn't want to be around there. So y'all, hey, if you've been there, let me know. I don't know if, now Pyramid Lakes seem a little bit more like a tourist spot. Crater Lake, I don't know. That one seem a little bit. Again, I told y'all I can't swim. People going missing there, and it's a lot of mysterious deaths there. So I ain't trying to be the next. Yeah, I ain't trying to find out. Y'all know the rest. I ain't trying to find out though.
Here, guys, like, I'm literally shaking. I'm shaking. I don't know what this means. I need your help. I need you to help me figure out what this means. Like, what? A follower sent me a video and I just kind of went down the rabbit hole from there, but what does this mean, guys? Look at this. I'm going to show you. I didn't believe it till I did it myself, and seeing this on a picture that I personally took is what shook me the most. Like, y'all, what? What's going on?
Okay, y'all seen Hunger Games, right? I know y'all seen the first Hunger Games. I think it's the first one. When they shoot the thing in the sky. Y'all seen that and the whole dome come apart, the whole game come apart. That's what that remind me of. And what's the other one? It's another one. I can't remember the other one, but it's another movie. Sorry Darling, I think it's called Sorry Darling or something like that. The husband throws the wife in the simulation. That's all we in is a simulation. And that's why I'm like, but I'm gonna try that though. I'm gonna try it. And if it worked, I'm most likely gonna go ahead and post it in the community tab. I probably won't post it on Instagram or nothing. I'll probably post it on the community tab. But yeah, I'm probably gonna try that one. I don't know when. I don't have no time right now. I got these videos, gotta edit, and I got some things to do. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I might do it this weekend. We'll see.
Its own Air Force, its own Navy, that's above the law and free from the law itself. The CIA director says, yeah, I know this is real. Why is it this level of secrecy? Who's keeping it secret? How are they doing this? How do I take on a group that have technologies that can do circles around the B-2 stealth? The worst treasonous acts that have ever happened to any country that falls is from within. The president, the director of the CIA, they had all been pushed aside and denied access. What's behind the secrecy? So let's say you have something that would fit on a little table this big, and it's pulling energy out of what's called the quantum vacuum, which was proven to exist back in the 50s. If you had a coffee mug, the amount of space in that coffee mug has enough potential power to boil off all the oceans of the world. That was mastered decades ago. That means that every home, business, car, manufacturing, village in Africa that would generate all the energy they need for all the needs that we have for a modern civilization. If that technology were to be disclosed, it's $1 quadrillion in proven assets, oil, gas, coal, that are obsolete. That's what they're protecting.
Set wanted to do away with Osiris. So he had him cut up into 14 pieces. Now his body's cut up into 14 pieces. It gets thrown into the Nile River. And Isis, of course, isn't happy about this. Isis tries to collect all the pieces up, and she's only able to find 13 pieces. So she fashions together those 13 pieces to form a more perfect union, which is the framework of our 13 colonies, a more perfect union, based off of the myth of Osiris. Now that's showing Egyptian magic even in the framework and the fabric of our foundation, right? It's not an accident that they brought together 13 colonies to form a more perfect union. That was all by design. It was all manufactured. But what's crazy is that she fashions together these 13 pieces, but guess what piece is missing? So what do? They set up this ritual. That's what the obelisk is, by the way. The obelisk represents the 14th piece that they couldn't find. You find it in the Vatican. You find it in ancient Egypt. You find it here in the States. You find it all over cemeteries. You find it all over the Masonic lodges. It represents the Osiris. And they believe by setting up this ritual, now it's all a recreation of the original ritual that took place between Isis and the 13 pieces of Osiris. The Washington Monument and the Dome of Isis, which is the Capitol building. Now this is fascinating because the original ritual had to take place between what we would, in a courtyard, between a dome and an obelisk. Putting those two together like that creates a power generator. Literally a generator for this ritual. And the idea is that the seed of Osiris, the seed, is going to come up and emit out of Washington Monument, and it's going to take over whoever our president is. Now, this sounds crazy, but think about this. In ancient Egypt, what had happened was the Pharaoh would go through this ritual, he would enter in a man, and he would exit the ritual a god. That was their belief. And they believed that their Pharaoh was literally the embodiment of Osiris because of that ritual. They were calling him up out of the underworld. So what we have in America is this same ritual, basically, that the Freemasons believe that they have maintained the proper language and the ritual to a T from the ancient world. They claim to have this still today. They're right there between the dome and the obelisk, right there in that power generator. And right around the corner at the Herodome, which is what they call the Masonic Mecca of the world, literally. The Herodome is this temple, this massive, crazy temple in D.C. They are up there while they do this ritual, and they are literally doing the Raising of Osiris ritual while the presidential inauguration happens at every election. And they are literally calling on the spirit of Osiris to raise up, or Apollo, however you want to slice it, to come out of the underworld and to possess, exits the ritual, a god. This is what the Freemasons believe. Now, people are going to say, well, not every president's a Freemason. Well, most of them have ties to secret societies, but they're not all conscious of the ritual. It's been going on now since the beginning, to our knowledge, since the beginning of this nation being set up. They believe that it's going to stick eventually. See, they don't know which president is going to be the final Osiris. Now, they believed in the foundation of this nation that Washington was a type. He was the first Osiris. Technically, every president in their eyes is an Osiris. But the crazy thing is that not every time the ritual is going to stick. They have to keep doing it until it actually sticks and they get that one that they've been waiting for. This is kind of like when we talk about Babylon working. You know, how many years, was Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard working in the desert trying to get this ritual to stick? They do this at the inauguration of every U.S. president because they believe there is going to come a time in a president that will be the one. He will be the one, and they will go through this ritual when his body lies in state in the Capitol Dome. I believe they're going to do this ritual, and that final raising ritual, that's going to be the one that's going to stick. I don't believe it's going to stick when they're doing it at an inauguration. The real one's going to take place when this Antichrist man dies. They lay him in state in the Capitol building beneath the 72 pentagrams and the apotheosis of George Washington. And that's not it. There's so much more numerology about the Capitol building and the 13 statues and the statutory hall. But I believe that's the real ritual. That's the one where he's going to raise, where the spirit of Osiris, which the Bible talks about this Apollyon coming up from the bottomless pit.
All out there with your shit, with your bullshit, with the shenanigans and the hocus pocus. But baby, they're about to do the biggest ritual because they know Pluto is going in Aquarius and they know that energy is shifting. It ain't no coincidence, baby, that the Super Bowl is Sunday, Mardi Gras is Tuesday, and Valentine's Day is Wednesday. Baby, they gonna harvest up some energies from you clowns playing around with them. All of y'all who making preparation for this Super Bowl, they will be harvesting energy. The ritual at the halftime will be a black magic ritual. Then they're going to turn around and put the magic on y'all for Mardi Gras. And then turn around and put the magic on y'all for Valentine's Day, because all those holidays is for them. They set that up. So you got to actually say, why are they setting up all these holidays? Because it ain't beneficial to us. All those holidays do is drain us financially. So they're not serving for our highest good. So again, this is not a coincidence, honey, that Mardi Gras, Super Bowl, and Valentine's Day is back to back. Come on, y'all. Please wake up. Why are they doing them back to back? So they get to change the holidays anytime that they want it to work for them financially, spiritually, emotionally. You see? Every time it works for the powers and it works against us, but we so caught up in the world, the things of the world, being distracted by the foolery, and we're not saving our soul, but everybody keeps saying God, 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 and go and play with God one day out of the week for an hour or two in the building where God is not at. Y'all fooling yourself. So y'all gonna get left behind and y'all don't have nobody to blame because everybody tried who was not repeating that narrative. This is not a coincidence, honey, that the Super Bowl is Sunday. You see? Fat Tuesday. And right next is Valentine's Day. Hush your mouth and keep on talking. That ain't no coincidence, honey. That was planned. It was planned. They planned on trying to get as much energy so that they can stay relevant, so that they can keep power. If we don't break this system that's systematically set up for us to fail, you see, They want to control our mind, our heart, and our spirit. They want to control everything about this planet and how it operates. And they don't want to have nothing to do with love, and they don't want to have nothing to do with God. They certainly don't want to have nothing to do with unity. They're all about division. They're all about chaos, chaos, chaos. And they will give these people in the church house behind the pulpit those paper dollars with the white man on it, not God on it. They don't have God picture on the money, but they got In God We Trust. See, that's making a mockery. It's telling y'all in your face. I'm telling y'all In God We Trust, but I'm putting white man face on this paper. So they can give that to the men behind the pulpit, men and women of God, and them school teachers, and them governmental officials. You see what I'm saying? Y'all gonna run out there and drink that alcohol and get full of them demon spirits, and they call in demonic spirits into this realm from the spiritual realm, but they don't want y'all calling on nobody, but they want y'all calling on Jesus, so that those spirits can attack y'all when y'all in a low vibration full of that alcohol. Do you get me? You got me? And Valentine's Day, we don't love each other, so why in the world we gonna celebrate that holiday? We don't have Trinity in families. We don't have a lot of equally yoked relationships. Can't y'all see it? How they screwing us over? And we're pretending and got these masses and facades. We're living lies. And that's why we're suffering. Because we're not present to see what's really going on. This is not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be learning from our mistakes, not repeating them. And just waiting for somebody to come fix it for us. But the only way it's going to get fixed is if we stay present and see what's happening. You see? Elevate your mind and open up your heart chakra. Will y'all carry on with your Super Bowl and Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day? Because, baby, a lot of people are going to go up out of here. They are going to zap your soul. They're going to trap it, zap it, sip it up. Y'all gonna have an attachment on y'all, and the energy is shifting, so you won't be able to connect to the energy that we are elevating to, because they lowered y'all and they lured y'all to be all in one space and put a frequency in that space that would affect your mind, affect your heart, and affect your spirit. And Mardi Gras is the same thing. They know everybody out there overindulging in the things of the world with alcohol, food, partying, and good time, fighting, cussing, screwing, whatever y'all doing out there. I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt. If my friend would have never told me Mardi Gras was right around the corner, baby, I wouldn't have never known. And Valentine's Day, you see? But we ain't loving on each other, but we celebrating. And go do your research on how much candy is made on Valentine's Day and how much money they make on Valentine's Day for us pretending that we in love with somebody. Coming on platforms talking about my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife. And look what they got me, and putting on them fake cat and dog shows and then going right back to the toxicity after Valentine's Day. I can't make this make sense to me, baby. Y'all have that foolishness. I'm going to keep on this journey. I'm going to keep talking to you. And I'm not coming at you blowing no smoke up your butt. Baby, Daphne going to give it to you raw. She's shooting straight from the hip, honey. I'm on this journey, trying to help one, reach one, and teach one. I'm trying to shift some shit on this planet. So I can't play with you if I'm going to shift some shit. I got to stay in my courageous energy. Don't come for me energy. You see? Carry on. Namaste.
My biggest thing about Valentine's Day, the shit whack. It don't make sense. You mean to tell me there's people out there who don't do nothing for their significant other the whole year, and then all of a sudden it's one day out the year and they want to go on dates, they want to spend time with each other, they want to be all lovely, get each other's gift. Like it's whack to me. Me as a man, if I'm with somebody, we doing these type of things periodically through the year. I'm gonna get you gifts just cause it's something, just cause I'm showing you it's a token of my appreciation to you. I'm gonna do good things for you, take you to eat, spend time with you, have memories, travel, laugh. It don't have to just be for Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to just be for your birthday. It doesn't have to be just because it's, some people celebrate Christmas because it's Christmas at that time and people giving gifts. It doesn't have to just be on certain days. You're supposed to do that for your significant other all the time. You're supposed to be helpful, loving, caring, wanting to spend time with them. And it's not even just about gifts, but you are supposed to just give them some things. If you know this person likes, I don't know, yeah, whatever they like, man, it could be simple. Just do it. Just cause it's Tuesday. Just cause it's Thursday. Don't do it because it's Valentine's Day, or just because it's Valentine's Day, or don't just do it on Valentine's Day. Man, keep that going. That go for men or women. That's why I don't like Valentine's Day. It's whack to me. I mean, I get it, but yeah, I would do that on a regular. So it ain't no point for one day out the year, but whatever. Whatever, man. That's my take on that.
Bonjour la famille, j'espère que vous allez bien, moi ça par la grâce de Dieu. Je suis comme ça en train d'aller à l'école. Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison. Je pars à l'école, c'est bon. Je ne retourne pas.
There were castles and big, massive buildings in America before Columbus in 1492, and that whole story, before he even got here. So if there were already all these massive castles, massive buildings, and all these people, big people too, before 1492, then how did they have the technology while Christopher Columbus is coming over on his cute, Santa Maria or Pinta or whatever it was, those 3 ships that they used? And where are those ships? How come we don't see those ships? How come we don't see those today? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Wouldn't those be put in a museum? Wouldn't you put the 3 most important ships of America in a museum? We don't see those either. And that's the thing. There's so many parts that are missing in which we don't see, but then we see all this nonsense over here. What about the Egyptian-like artifacts found in the Grand Canyon? Yes, same exact thing. So you have Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon in Arizona. So were people...
NSA's Security and Counterintelligence Directorate, also known as the Q Group, is the agency's internal police force.
They're basically the cops or the police of the NSA. Their main job is to make sure that, their many analysts and officers and program managers are not targeted by foreign intelligence services.
Now that CNN clip of the Q Group, if this gets blocked, y'all know it didn't pass YouTube's guidelines because it was from CNN. So they'll copyright that. So it probably got removed. I hope it got to stay in. So if you're wondering right now what I'm talking about, it's the Q Group on CNN. It was a quick clip. It might have made it, might not have made it. It might have got taken out of this video. Just give y'all a heads up. And how y'all feel about the 3 ships not being in the museum? We already knew this. We already knew this though. We knew Christopher Columbus lying ass. We already knew, bro. Ain't no question. And that one clip about the dude running in the middle of the woods or whatever, and then the person jump out the woods, that's fake, man. I thought that was real. I remember when I first got that first clip, I paused it real quick, right? And I was going through some more videos trying to find some more compilations, and I seen it again. Not the same video, just a different scenario, different area, and I'm like, oh, bro, they just doing that for the views and the clicks. So yeah, disregard that one. I didn't notice the video was even still in here until right now when I'm reacting to it. But yeah, I seen another video like that, and that one was whack. I don't really like when they do stuff like that, but whatever. Where was the second one at? I seen the first one, like the silhouette, the shadow or whatever. I seen the first one, but where the second one? Y'all think that's Bigfoot? I think that's Sasquatch or something. Somebody said that they're interdimensional, so they can pop in and pop out of dimensions. So that's why it's hard to catch them on camera. What y'all feel like with that? What y'all feel about? I heard that too before though. I heard that too before, and that would explain why we haven't been able to get good clips of them. But then again, I also be thinking like, it's life or death for them. If they hit the news today or tomorrow, oh, first Bigfoot sighting and it was real. If it was real, we know if it hit the news, it's the most time fake. But if it was real, and we got actual footage of it getting busy, and it's just wilding the hell out, I mean, 9 times out of 10, it ain't nothing to get to wipe a Bigfoot. If the military wanted to do it, they'd have been able to get a Bigfoot out of there quick. That's why I'm like, if I was a Bigfoot, I'd run. I mean, trying to hide from humans too. I don't want nobody knowing I'm alive. I wouldn't, because you know that's the end. His days are numbered at that point. Once humans find out there's something bigger than them that can come wipe them out, they're gonna try to take it out first. That's just how humans is, bro. It's what we do. I don't know. If it was a threat to me, that's how I'm thinking. But if it ain't a threat, I'm not really tripping, but my guard is up though. I guess it's just human nature.
Shifting transformation, according to him, after having spent some time in the Navy. And this is his first video on TikTok. Check this out.
So you really need more. You need more of these eyes.
See that? After having his account and his videos deleted, he opened a second account and uploaded this video. Check this out. Now,
what you're about to hear is real. My name, it's not too important. The information that I'm about to tell you is extremely important. I was an intelligence specialist with the United States Navy. Since then, if you watch my other videos, you realize that strange things have started to happen to my body. If you remember, my eye has started to get more of a slit in a reptilian, or I guess snake eye appearance. If you look at my other videos, or what I'm adding right here, you can actually see up close what my eye looks like. If you remember, my body in certain areas, like for example, you look at my elbows on both sides, I'm growing additional limbs. My hands, my thumbs, they're extending and growing too. At first, I just put out a cry for help on TikTok. I didn't know who was going to answer, who was going to respond. Other people out there that went through similar experiences. I'm one of, if you notice, the first people.
Some of y'all say y'all don't trust it, because if he was really like that, they would have came and snatched him up quick. Some of y'all think he was placed there just to like, yeah. Some of y'all don't trust it. I never seen them open his eye and stick that in his eye like that. Oh my God, damn. I don't think I could go for it, bro. I can't go for it. No, you ain't playing with my eyes like that.
Believe it or not, it's snowing in Arizona. There is only one true religion. I cracked the code, I finished the game, and I'm about to tell you everything you need to know. But first, I'm gonna wait until this snow is done, because it's way too hard to make a video with all this wet. This will be the last time I tell you all the secrets to reality and magic, and there's a couple reasons why. Those who know don't speak. Those who speak don't know. There is a reason the occult masters say this. For one, while they're teaching, they cannot access the power completely because they're dedicating tons of energy to teaching the masses, which is what I've done for several years, and it's been absolutely exhausting because I've gotten so much pushback for telling all of you the truth. The irony of Christians treating me the way the Pharisees treated Christ is absolutely mind-boggling. But this is what the mystic prophet should expect. For most people to hate the message of truth about magic, reality, righteousness, and God. And for a very select few to be able to drop their egos, open their minds and their hearts, and actually hear and understand the message. This has ultimately not been very fun or easy for me. I've taken on great pains in my own life to tell you all the truth. And there comes a point where I need to start taking care of myself and reap the benefits of all the wisdom that I've attained. While your mind focuses on the liberation of the people, you cannot fully liberate yourself. Truly tapping into this dream world's power requires absolute non-belief. Because all these backwards ideologies, philosophies, mythologies, cosmologies, and all the rest are what's keeping your mind in a box. And because when people like me come down to give you the truth, we have to navigate that box, we can't fully be in the truth because we have to operate inside of your lies to try to get to you so we can tell you the divine truth. And therefore, our minds are being anchored to bad stuff just because we have to in order to talk to you and to be in the world. All right, now that you hopefully understand why this has to be the last time I drop the master secrets on you, let's get into those master secrets. It all starts with YHVH. No, YHVH does not represent your breath. No, YHVH isn't about your DNA. YHVH is the tetragrammaton, the hyperdimensional geometric lattice of creation. People are very foolish about these 4 letters. So foolish that they try to convert those 4 letters to a 6-letter name, and it's not the same. YHVH is the sacred secret that one group of people understands extremely well and uses it to their absolute advantage. The reason they say Hashem, the name, as a placeholder and say that God's name can't be spoken, it's first off because they're lying to you. It's not that it can't be spoken. It's that they don't want to tell you the big secret. They got a triangle facing up and a triangle facing down on their flag. Interesting. As above, so below. Masculine and feminine. Locking in the divine energy of creation at the place where everyone referred to as the center of the world, Jerusalem. They are controlling all the divine energy that pours into our reality, while they've tricked you into using Yahweh and Jehovah, fake deities that spiritually enslave you and create a conduit connection circuit to their energy. So they control what you think, and then you give them your prayer power so they can create more. That's why they say Hashem, because they don't want you to know how magic works. By the way, America's magical symbol is the 5-pointed star, the pentagram, and they are referred to in the Middle East as the Great Shaitan or Great Demon Conjurer, which is exactly what we are. So let's talk about what YHVH really means. Now, by the way, when anyone tells you one of their foolish theories, like the DNA thing or the breath thing or that it's actually Yahweh, ask them where they're getting their information from. And keep asking questions, because what you're going to find is they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're just repeating what somebody else told them. So let's talk about what YHVH really means. Okay, we're in Exodus 3:14, and Moses asked God, when I go to the Hebrew people and say, God sent me, who shall I say exactly sent me? What is your name? To which God replies in an ancient language, which is very hard to translate perfectly into any one of our modern languages, the most important phrase in human history regarding magic, prayer, spirituality, and mysticism. I am going to give you all the potential interpretations of that phrase. Understand that no one of them is true by themselves, but when you combine them all together, you can see the big picture. I am that I am. I will become what I will become. I will become what the Hebrew people need me to become. You think, therefore I am. What this is telling you is that we live in a malleable, aka changeable reality that is changed and morphed by our consciousness. Where have you heard this before? Quantum physics. God is telling Moses that you can create whatever you want out of me, the substance of creation, because you have become a conscious being, conscious of being conscious, aware of reality, and the ability to change it and create like a god. Since then, the people who have received this wisdom have used that to their advantage and created all sorts of tulpas and egregores to convince and control populations to maintain control over the world. Gray aliens, fairies, angels, saints, balls of light, gnomes, dwarves, you name it, most of them were probably created by magicians. They use the creative energy, creative potential, because they realize that the world is actually a dream and that we sort of solidify ourselves into the physical reality and lose sight of the spiritual reality. Jerusalem was built in the invisible world first. Solomon's temple was not built with hammer and chisel. And they're able to do all sorts of insane things. Think about the CE5 meditations where they sort of call upon the aliens. Isn't that the same thing as summoning a spirit? Yes, it is exactly the same thing as summoning a spirit. And everyone has the potential to do this. Now there's a higher version. You can create a personal super tulpa of yourself called the light body, the Merkaba. It's what Jesus Christ did to resurrect on the third day, and it's what all the yogis do in the Himalayas when they're sitting there meditating in the mountain, and someone sees them walking in the streets in a city at the same exact time. Everyone who's following a religion and worshiping anything, whether it's science and AI and robots, Galactic Federation, Jesus Christ, all these different apparitions were manufactured. There is not any one of those that is truly real and connected to the divine true one God in a pure way. It is like a filter, and God's light passes through the filter based on the cultural story we're telling, and then it manifests itself in organized form. What I'm trying to say is, yes, there is an actual ministry of magic that lives underneath the fabric of our regular, normal society. And they perform magic all the time and bewitch and cast spells on you. And everyone's trying to get you to vote for their principality through your worship. The more people that worship a particular false idol, the more powerful that false idol becomes in the invisible world, and then they in turn have an effect on the physical world that we live in, the psychological world that we live in, et cetera, and it's this feedback loop. Folks, let me tell you something, especially to those people who believe in the Galactic Federation. 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when people were having contact, they were telling the people they were from Venus and Mars. And now, since we have satellites and we have telescopes and we can see those places, they've changed their story to Pleiades and Zeta Reticuli because we can't see those places, so we can't prove that they're telling us BS. Before that, they were just saying, we live up there. We live in the clouds. We live in super high mountains that float in the sky. That was before human beings understood that there was no cities in the sky, that when you go past the sky, there's these other heavenly bodies. They changed their story based on the culture, or they're manifested from our collective unconscious based on the cultural beliefs we have, AKA Daniel chapter 10, the Prince of Persia, which was a principality, a spirit of Persia, which was the amalgamation of their language, their cultures, their desire, their beliefs. And it actually lived around the territory of Persia as a spirit that operated with the actual. And there's principalities everywhere. There's a principality around me right now called King Magon, who believes all the things he believes and tries to manifest that cultural energy in his space. And this is how the whole thing works. It's a giant sandbox. And the way we behave and the way we think and the way we believe, whether in ourselves or some external thing, is what we build the world into. You are the magician. You are the super creator. You are the fractal light of God, which can do anything here that they want. Stop worshiping false gods.
Me, my son and granddaughter just caught this.
It was something else shimmering up there too. I saw it. And then where'd it go? There it is, right there. Okay, there it go now.
What is it?
I don't know.
That's how we gonna end it. Like I said, you see UFO carriers, sometimes they can be our government, sometimes it can be an actual alien species. Or it also can be our government's aliens that they created that's flying them. So just be mindful of which is which. You may not know until we may not never get to know which one was which. But I do appreciate y'all if y'all stuck all the way through. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever drop an upload. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos a week, man. Now y'all know, make sure them post notifications is on so you never miss that upload. When you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, it helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content and join the collective. This is for entertainment and educational purposes as well. But y'all know I love the collective. And until I see y'all in the next one, man, we gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my count. Sheesh, at the amount.